Welcome to Murder and Everything Else. My name is Joy.
And my name is Cheryl. Joy and I are two very old friends who love to talk about murder and everything else. So, hey, fishes, it's us, Joy and Cheryl. How are your holidays going? Are you overspending? Are you eating too much? Are you fighting for parking spots? If you are, great job, because it wouldn't be the holidays without any of those. For those of you OGs who've listened to us from the very beginning, we want to thank you, and we want to thank and welcome any fishes we've picked up since 2023. If you've listened to any of our disclaimers, if any of you have made it all the way through our disclaimer at the end, if you haven't, we encourage you to listen to it, because at the very end, there's a sweet little guest signing us off. Bye, fishes. And if you didn't already know where that came from, Joy is going to tell you the story again. So take it away, Joy.
If you fishes do not know this story, then you get to hear it here all over again, because I did something crazy and I think I deleted a bunch of data from season 1. So anyway, you don't get that recording, you get a new one. When my oldest daughter was a baby, she was under 2. We lived in Davis, California, and anyone who has driven that corridor from where Vacaville drops down into Fairfield on I-80 up to Sacramento, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a hot mess. And I was in that corridor, trying to, it's like, Cheryl, it's like one of those LA freeways that has 6 or 7 lanes across both sides. So it's crazy. And there's so much traffic, and it doesn't matter what time of day it is, because it's a junction for a lot of freeways. It's a bottleneck no matter what time of day it is. And I was jogging, and there was this car with these young girls, and they were, listening to music probably and talking a mile a minute, and they were not paying attention, and they pulled in front of me and then slowed down, which is so aggravating.
Well, they were texting too. They were texting while doing all of that.
Anyway, something happened and I must have cut them off. No, there was no texting because this was a while ago. It was like over 20 years ago, or at least 20 years ago. So anyway, they were pissed. So they chased me a little bit on the road and were trying to get in front of me. And they were kind of, just being obnoxious. And I wanted to get away from them, but I also wanted to be faster and win. And so I pulled in front of them and I quickly exited from the freeway, and then they got stuck behind all this traffic, and I was like, bye, bitches. And from the back seat in the car seat, my little 2-year-old goes, bye, fishes. And I was all, yeah, bye, fishes, because I had forgotten momentarily, obviously, in my stupor and my road rage, that I had a toddler in the back seat of the car. Guys, this is a cautionary tale. Don't rage in the car when you're driving. Also, don't be the first person to teach your 2-year-old the word bitches. So anyway, that's where bye fishes comes from. And I know a nice, cute, adorable, sweet little 3.5-year-old who, when she was 2, let us record her saying bye fishes. So that's where bye fishes came from.
Yeah, I encourage you guys to listen through at least one of our outros and disclaimers at the end, because it just melts my heart every time I hear her voice.
But cute.
After you telling that story, Joy, is a great segue into Don't Complicate Your Day.
It's
because
true.
that's a perfect time where you need to tell yourself that when you are on the freeway and you are about to road rage, or you're standing in a line and someone cuts in line, or especially during the holidays, you're waiting for a parking spot and someone else turns right into it and cuts you off. So I just want to tell you, if you haven't listened to us from the beginning, the reason we tell you not to complicate your day is because I once told my sister about how I almost road raged. And she told me, Cheryl, don't complicate your day. And for some reason, it was like a light bulb went off. And I thought, that's true, right? You would just be complicating your day. So that's where that comes from. And I want to give a little shout out to one of our OG listeners, Francoise, who told us that she has used this mantra in different situations and it's worked for her, which just made our day. So if you've never used this, don't complicate your day mantra of ours of murder and everything else, you need to use it. And if you're not using it, that is a crime. But Joy, you know what else is a crime?
What's that, Cheryl?
That we are out of time.
That's right. We are. Everybody, Happy New Year. And remember, from Cheryl and Joy at Murder and Everything Else, don't complicate your day.
All creativity, commentary, and opinions in this podcast belong to Cheryl and Joy. Music composed and mixed by Gabe McKeon. Logo and merch managed by Cheryl Yamaguchi. Podcast editing, advertising, and social media managed by Joy McKeon. Legal representation provided by John Bojezic. Please like, subscribe, follow, and listen. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Audible.com, Amazon Music, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And remember, you can find us on Instagram and TikTok, or you can email us at murderandeverythingelse@gmail.com.
Bye, fishes.